Eventually, they decided to attempt to bump start it down the hill. Against all expectations, it fired up, and they were on their way. The Magubaskloof Valley is spectacularly beautiful and also offers some superb rally roads. After his massage the previous evening, Kuhn was feeling better and was confident of defending his lead. He didn't have a great first stage though, only setting the 12th fastest time, but losing only 9 seconds to Habich. Habich in turn set the 4th fastest time, some 8 seconds slower than Ryan in the Subaru as the four-wheel drive cars came to the fore. It was Ryan's second national championship stage win, but his first on gravel. He won a car park stage in the Volkswagen Rally in July.
100, downhill, E90 left.
Habich was faster than Damso over the stage, securing second place for himself, albeit by just 2 seconds. Let's ride with him.
Straight on. 100, yep. Yep, and blanket it. And blanket it.
Not wishing to relinquish any advantage, Kuhn was back up to speed in stage 7. He was fastest by 2 seconds from Habich, stretching his advantage back out to 24 seconds. Habich endured a lean year in 2003 with just a single victory, and it appeared as if 2004 would bring a similar fate unless he could win this event. He has 28 wins to his name in national championship rallying and was desperate to add another, but there was a lot of work to do. Damso and Paisley teamed up midway through the 2003 season, and the combination has been a successful, if at times strained one. They won the championship last season, giving Paisley his first national championship title, and we're on course to make that 2 in a row. Damso has driven for Toyota since 1986 and has earned all his championship titles with the mark. Before joining the team, he scored 1 win for the Ford Works team in the season before departing to join Toyota. He's the second most successful driver in South African rally history after Sarel van der Merwe, who has 11 national titles to his name. Only 13 drivers have won the SA Rally Drivers' Championship since it was introduced 44 years ago. The Somerset West-based businessman has also competed extensively in circuit racing, driving Alphas, Fords and Toyotas, and winning a number of titles along the way. Bem was still driving superbly, setting the second fastest time on the stage, only 1 second slower than Kuhn. JP Damso was also driving with great commitment, but lost 21 seconds to 4th placed Bem on the stage. Following his first ever gravel stage win, Ryan was pumped up and pushing hard. He was now in 5th place. Van der Merwe was pleased to still be going strongly and running comfortably in the top 10. Du Plessis endured another incident-filled rally. On day 1, he had to contend with a puncture, a back spasm and a near roll. On day 2, he suffered from a severe dose of food poisoning all day, combined with a puncture on stage 6. Despite all this, he was in the leading bunch. Watson was enjoying the conditions and was right in amongst the local N4 cars, running comfortably inside the top 10. Grobelaar was looking good for his first finish of the year, but he almost overdid it here. With their opposition falling out in stage 1, Chris de Wit and Patrick Yende were crowned Class N2 champions, regardless of where they finished. There was no let-up for Trott, though. He and Joubert were trading times, and mere seconds separated them. Joubert wrong-slotted in stage 4 and lost 26 seconds. He was driving hard to make up the gap, taking a few seconds back on each stage. A newcomer to the class, he has driven well all year, forcing reigning class champion Trott to up his game. Ball was driving solidly as usual and was on course to score his third points finish in a row. Blackman was still fighting both the handling and the ECU problems of the BMW. He had hoped to challenge for a place in the upper echelons of the top 10, but was now slipping well off the leaderboard. Yaku and George Baker won Class S20 in their Limpopo Toyota Conquest. Aggie Straw and Jörg Stein finished third in Class A6 in their Conquest. Vulcan looked set for the title, leading his class and not extending himself nor the car. After taking the title with very little opposition last year, the arrival of Visagie in the class kept him on his toes. Despite mechanical breakdowns, accidents and some misfortune during the year, they started the season finale with the title still up for grabs. Vulcan held the advantage, but his car broke a pin in the differential on an open section after stage 10 and was out. The title was Visagie's. Dolph Coetzee and Irma de Plooy won Class A5 in their Toyota Taz and took the class title. Michael Houghton and Craig Jennings finished second in Class A5 in their Toy Toy Spares Toyota Taz, despite this being their first national rally of the year. The team total Runix of Lawrence and Vermeulen came crawling through the stage. It was the end of the road for the pair. The Toyota had lost its wheel in the stage. It was a disappointing end to the year for Lawrence, who had hoped to score at least one win in the Class A8 car.
I went a little bit wide, three stop. The start pull out. I say.
It was the end for some, but for others the event continued. Sali and Tommy de Toy finished third in Class A5.
Etienne, you didn't have a good day this morning. It's been well yesterday, but car looks just a bit sad now.
Well, it looks nice from this side. No, we had a bad rally. Well, yesterday we had a puncture and lost 50 seconds. And then we had a bent tie rod, which cost us another 30 in the other stage. Yeah, and this morning the thing wouldn't start out of Park Ferme. So obviously the driver gets a little bit tense and revs in the red before the day even starts. So I went in a little bit too fast in the first one, clipped a tree stump, and that was the end of the rear suspension. We fixed it now, but it lasted 3K, so that's the end, unfortunately.
It's also the end of this particular car in rallying. Next year you're going to be four-wheel drive.
I'm not too sad about that either. So I think I'm looking forward to next year. A lot of planning in the service department and from our workshop side. So yeah, we'll come out fighting next year.
Dion Skuman and Jan Sai made a rare appearance in the Automark Toyota Taz and were running fourth in Class A5, but would retire later in the stage with a broken CV joint. Keane was still under pressure from Habich and pushing as hard as he could. He lost 11 seconds on stage 8 to his teammate, reducing his lead to just 13 seconds. He hit back on stage 9 though, setting the fastest time and clawing back 12 crucial seconds. It would now be very difficult for Habich to win back 25 seconds in 4 stages, especially with the Golf's gearbox playing up. But if there's one thing to be said about Habich, it's that he never gives up. Enjoy him at work. After an early career with Nissan, Habich switched to Volkswagen in 1993 and has been with the marque ever since. Although he drove a privately entered Golf when there was no works team. He's the 5th most successful driver in South African rallying in terms of national titles, while his 28 wins place him 4th on the all-time winners list. Judd is the 3rd most successful navigator with 5 titles, and his 28 event wins also place him 3rd in the event win rankings.
Yanni, midway through day 2, you've moved into 2nd, but it hasn't all been plain sailing.
Yeah, we've now got a small problem with the gearbox. We've noticed some metal filings in the oil, so we keep draining the oil every stage to see if we can get it to the end. We don't have enough time to change the gearbox, not enough service time, so it's a bit of a lotto at the moment.
Still looks spectacular out there, still driving as hard as ever.
Yeah, well, it's not, the difference between driving a little bit slower and driving hard is, I don't think, going to make any difference to what's going on in the gearbox. So we'll just keep the normal 100% pace.
Still praying hard that Serge strikes trouble.
We'll leave it up to him.
With a relatively healthy lead, Kuhn did not have to take undue chances, but he couldn't ease off too much either. It's never an easy task to find the right pace in those circumstances, but he appeared to be pacing himself well. Back on board with Habich and Judd. This stage gives a good indication of just how fast some of the stages were and the driving ability required to keep the car on the road at high speed. Progress in technology has seen the cars becoming increasingly faster each year. It's hard to believe that the current 2-litre Golfs are faster over a stage than the awesome turbocharged Audi Quattros of the late 1980s. Those cars were supremely powerful, but chassis and tyre technology has seen the nimbler, smaller, modern cars surpass them in overall pace terms. Habich's event was about to come to a sudden end. Watch carefully as it happened. Fast. Ouch, that was a hard impact. Habich's demise elevated Damso to 2nd overall, but he still had to ensure he finished the event, or else the title would still go to the Golf driver. Wilkins' retirement highlighted that anything could happen. Bem once again impressed throughout the rally, despite his Mitsubishi still not boosting properly. He won stage 8 by 9 seconds from Habich, and with the latter's demise, he was now safely ensconced in 3rd and on course for his best finish on a national rally. He fought off a brief challenge from Damso Jr. and was over 40 seconds ahead at this juncture. Bem has shown himself to be a real talent this year in his privately entered car, but to challenge the leaders consistently in the future, he needs a good sponsor or some works assistance. Let's look at Habich's accident again. Note how he just clips a protruding tree base, which catapults the Golf helplessly across the road into the poles. That's how quickly it can all go wrong at speed. With the pressure from Habich off him and suspected